Even though I have had my own troubles in life and I've had my own angst as I was growing up and my anger issues and so forth, I was always kind to people. And sometimes I didn't want to be, but I would be kind, especially when somebody was working for me, if I had in my own company or in any other position. I like to show them kindness. It was easier to communicate when you're kind. There's people aren't, if you affront somebody with something, the first thing is that they hold back, their whole body language changes, their mind changes, they don't listen, they don't hear. And there's differences between listening and hearing as well. And so you're not on an equal footing, and the reception on both sides really gets clouded. And then this is what I was talking about earlier when we start making assumptions about things. Now I'm assuming what that person's going to say or what they're thinking. And all I had to do was just have a very kind and conversation about what's happening. So if somebody in the organization doesn't do something that made sense, and I'm not even going to say wrong, they just, because most people will do what's right, what they think is right, even though it may not be correct. How's that? Most people don't mean harm. There's usually no malice meant at all by anyone. But yet we kind of, if something, if I didn't put the keys on the keyboard right for some reason, most people don't mean to change the H and the G, right? So you look at that and you go, no, well, let's take a look at that for a minute, because that needs to be that way so it works better or works the way we designed it or whatever that is. So it's really just a conversation of being kind and saying, okay, let's take a look at this. Why did that happen this way? There's so much going on psychologically, and that's what really this is all about. It's the psychology of knowing people, but knowing yourself. What would I want for me? How would I want somebody to treat me? And everybody wants to be treated with kindness. There isn't anybody out there that doesn't. I don't care who you're talking about. I don't care what level they're at. I don't care if what religion they are, what race they are. It does none of that matters. Zero. That's zero effect on people. But kindness always comes through. A smile, a word, whatever that is. And I like this proverb, but I don't. You get more with sugar or honey, right, than you do with vinegar. And and the point, I understand the point of that message, but the reality is that why do you even have to think that you would give somebody vinegar? That shouldn't even be on the agenda. That shouldn't even be part of the equation. It should be an automatic, here's some honey or here's some sugar. And now let's figure this out. And that's what good leadership is about. It's not about manipulation with people. It's being honest about what's happening. If people understand exactly what the corporation or what the vision of the company is for their product or their service, whatever it is, people can align, they can get in alignment with that. Because if you don't have a clear vision, and if everybody doesn't understand that and are privy to it in every way, then that's when things start to go sideways. This is when that fence that you're walking on, you're sure to fall off of. So